Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. I scared you, didn't I? Hello, David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. I am joined here with somebody that probably looks a little familiar. We've done a video where you actually took apart a gun. Do you remember that?
Mark Hazard. Yeah.
Mark Hazard. That's right. Should we use that name? Or
sure, that's fine.
Don't use your real name, and certainly don't tell people that you're my father-in-law.
Okay, I won't.
All right, because none of that's probably true. But I am joined back again, and we're here to do something different. I know this this looks like another gun video, and here we are on the 4th of July, and no, we're not shooting off guns. This is actually, you ready for this? This is actually, probably can't, oh, there's the flame. So this is a cigar toaster or lighter. Yes, it is a Walther PPK, but it's going to help us talk about a set of cigars that we were sent to us by this company right here, Privada Cigar Club 2017. Have you ever heard of this company?
No.
So brand new company for you.
Yes.
Cigar club that's really come into their own. They've done some amazing things, but they sent us, knowing that we were a cigar aficionado, they sent us something very special. It has to do with James Bond, because these are the Delectados. Now, do you know what movie this is from?
No.
I love that you're a blank slate. No, this is good. This is good, because I'm gonna fill up your head with useless knowledge, as only I have. But you could see the box there, very limited edition, much like the band. We first hear about the Delectados in Die Another Day.
Okay.
And James Bond finds a sleeper cell guy who is a cigar maker, and they have an exchange, and we're gonna do it right now. So, so the guy, I'm gonna play the guy, you're gonna play Bond. So you do everything in yellow.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, ready? We haven't rehearsed this, by the way. I come to think that the Delectados would never be smoked. They are particularly hostile to one's health, Mr.
Bond.
Mr. Bond. Do you know why?
It's the addition of the
Valada
tobacco.
Yeah.
Slow burning, it never goes out.
Just like a sleeper.
Sorry for the rude awakening.
Wow, you said, could you have been flatter? That was amazingly emotionless, which as only you can deliver. No, that was beautiful. So they're smoking these things, and then we get don't touch, and then we get actually a callback, an Easter egg. Many years later, No Time to Die, Felix Leiter is smoking the same exact type of cigar.
No,
Pretty cool, right?
Still alive, yeah.
Right. So we're. This is not going to stop, folks. We've got Weisenheimer over here. So here they are. This is for you, so you can take yours out. And what we're going to do is we decided to field test this, and I got a lovely, lovely letter from Brian Desind, who's the owner of Privada Cigar Club. And he sent us these, amongst others. Beautiful packaging.
Yeah.
And we are going to field test this. Now, before we do, I do want to show the wrapper. Just like the one from the movie, really takes an homage to it. Beautiful 4th of July evening. You have a Macallan 12 that you're going to enjoy with this, and I have the Johnny Walker Black to pay homage to No Time to Die. And the ashtray we're using is from Diamonds Are Forever. It's from the Tropicana. So fully decked out. I've got a Spectre watch. I've got something from Thunderball. And you are wearing something that looks like a Rolex.
It looks like a Rolex.
But what is it?
It's an Invicta.
It's an Invicta. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
I've got a cutter. And let me just tell you a little bit about the cigar before we jump into the...
Beautiful wrapper.
First of all, beautiful wrapper. Here, do you want to cut it?
Yeah, it's a 6 by 50 ring.
You know that already.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. The cigar itself is a 6 by 50 Toro featuring an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper over Dominican Hybrid binder and Dominican Piloto Viso, San Vicente, and Seco fillers. So the owner, Brian, indicates that this particular blend will never be produced again, which is pretty amazing. And this is really important. Can you cut mine?
Sure.
That'd be amazing. Describes a cigar being released via this Limited Cigar Association of July as one of the most special cigars. Yeah, we're just filming, Cheryl. So that's my mother-in-law in the background. No, come on out. Come on out, Cheryl. Come on out. Now that we're not editing this, so this is going to be complete.
I didn't know you were filming.
No, come on over this way. Come on over this way so you're not on camera. Come on over this way so you're not on camera. And then look down here. And that's my mother-in-law. She wanted to say hi.
Cheers.
Aw,
It's got a nice
she's
draw.
so sweet. The cigar is called the Delectados, named after the fictitious brand of cigars that appear in the James Bond film, like we said. The cigar itself is significant for being the first release from the, I'm going to mess this up, Tabacalera Diaz Cabrera factory.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. The owner of the new factory is one of the most famous and recognizable master blenders in the Dominican Republic, Mr. Elidio Diaz, the former master blender of Davidoff cigars for the past 3 decades.
Right. Oh, those are excellent, those cigars.
This is a cornerstone of cigar history, says Brian. The last few years leading up to the opening of the Diaz Cabrera factory have been met with a lot of speculation and excitement within the industry, and having the opportunity to release the first ever cigar from this already legendary factory is a tremendous privilege. So we are smoking literally the first cigar out of the gate with this.
Well, I got to say, this is well crafted.
You can already tell. How? Because you're the cigar guy.
It's firm. It has an easy draw. It's well packed, but the draw is exceptionally easy, surprisingly. So
You can tell that already.
yeah, I tried.
That's amazing. All right, so we're going to toast these things.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, for those of you that do smoke, you're not supposed to breathe it in. You start burning all the tobacco. So do you want to toast yours?
Toast it.
All right, go for it.
Flame should be close to, but not on.
Yeah, kind of walk through it for them. Make sure you get it on camera if you can.
Okay, so
So you bring it up. I've seen people toast it without bringing it up, but you like to bring it up. Now, usually we play music during this most fascinating of parts, but we're not going to cut, like we've told you. It's just going to keep going. You getting it? Oh, it's on fire. This girl is on fire. I'm very interested because there's certain flavor notes that I heard about this that are pretty fascinating. For example, I've heard things like toasted bread, which sounds amazing. Cedar, which again sounds amazing. Kind of like a maple walnut syrup type taste. All these different, it's very complicated, interesting notes. How you doing? You going to town? I'm just going to see if I can toast this thing. He's committed. I will say that. So I haven't smoked a cigar in, without exaggeration, years. How long has it been since you smoked?
it's been a while.
It's been a while, right? I think you're going to use up all the propane. Is that propane? Gas? Fluid?
For some reason, it's not.
I think you were supposed to toast it first, right? And like kind of roll it around? Yeah, you're getting the edge.
It's not lighting properly.
All right, let me see if I can do it. See how I'm doing it right here?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of going around. See, that's how I heard you kind of do it. You don't bring it in, because what happens is you start burning the outer flame. And then, after a couple more revolves, I think we're going to get it really good. Guess
Yeah,
what?
yours is a lot more.
Well, that's because look what I'm doing
balanced.
versus...
I see.
It's ready.
Okay.
Now, for those newbies out there, you don't inhale cigars.
Well, we're out of ammo here.
Is it out?
Yeah.
No.
All right, so we finally got it lit.
We do. Yay,
Okay, now-
you!
Okay, so
What's your first impression?
well, you have to give me a few minutes here before I give you any kind of a.
No pressure. We've got all the
yeah.
time in the world. I just went there. How's your single malt, by the way?
I haven't tried it yet.
It's honest.
It's always been good, consistent. The 12 year.
So I'll tell you, I've just taken a couple of puffs. First of all, cigar smoking in general, please, 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 and I do remember this from my days of smoking cigars, this is something to be savored and take time. So much in life is about rushing nowadays. Your job, your family, your friends, rush, rush, rush. Right? Cigars are about,
Yeah, you have to relax with a cigar.
you gotta relax. Sometimes the old ways are
Something to
best,
enjoy.
right?
Yeah. You don't rush through this.
What would you do with a cigar? You would sit down, you live on a lake, because you're like a baller. You would sit on like your bougie lake and smoke cigars and fish, right?
Yes. And sometimes the fishing is a distraction.
You're a distraction.
So
Why was the fishing a distraction?
because you're trying to smoke the cigar, savor it, and fish at the same time. And if you get a strike, which I do, continually on the lake because it's stocked with bass, it's generally kind of a distraction to do both at the same time.
Interesting.
But this is what you want to do. You want to just sit there and savor this.
And the other thing is, too, I remember you years ago, I've known him for a long time, Mark Hazard, is to take a cigar and not sit there and puff away, but take a little bit, talk, tell war stories, have a drink, right? It's not about smoking it down to nothing.
It's a social event.
Even with the two of us, it's social, huh?
Yeah.
And by the way, if you see moments of silence between us and you're watching this in a video form, it's because we have an economy of words and we don't need, there's a person walking behind me in the background. That is a Yeti sighting is what that is. There is Yeti in these woods, I'm just saying. And we're here, it's a beautiful day, smoking the Delectados, which could be very hazardous to your health because of the velado tobacco. That's from the movie. How's yours lit now? Is it okay?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm using right now, by the way, is not the best lighter in the world for this. This is good for lighting candles.
You never know how these
Joe,
things
could you
are
do me
going
a
to burn.
favor? Could you ask Danielle for the lighter downstairs or a lighter?
The one that says.
Any of them. There might be, there's actually one in, I think there's one in the top drawer here. Thank you so much.
Ideally, you want this to burn evenly, and you want the ash to get as long as possible. It's not always possible because of the way tobacco is constructed. There's veins in there and so forth. So, I mean, the cigar maker is going to go through, a lot of pains if they were really doing a fine job of creating a well-crafted cigar. They want to make sure that the roll is just right, so it's not too tight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you want to have a decent draw on it. But ideally, that ash, should continue along quite a ways without disturbing.
And is that user error sometimes when it doesn't smoke even? Or is it the way it's packed mostly?
Probably the way it's created. You can't get a perfect cigar every time. You try to blend for flavor. This is a well-crafted cigar.
It's tasty. It's much more mild than I expected.
It's very mild. As far as the flavor,
Yeah, what are you picking up?
I'm not picking up much flavor. Unfortunately, I'm not giving this as far as flavor.
You got to smoke
goes.
it down a little bit.
You got to smoke it down.
Yeah, don't rush
See
us,
if
people.
see if it gets better.
This could take forever. This is one of these videos. You could go to the bathroom, right? You could do a little work in between. We're not cutting because it's almost like we want you to light up something, and maybe even a Delectados. Maybe you ordered one down at the link below and you're enjoying it with us. Smoking a Delectados with the Bond Experience and Mark Hazard. By the way, can you talk about what you do for a living?
Well, I'm retired now, but I had unusual
Set of skills?
set of skills. Correct.
So you really can't talk about what you did for a living.
That's right.
Or you shouldn't, I should say.
No.
Especially in a public forum.
Now,
Is it safe to say you were a problem eliminator?
well, I
Instead of a problem
try
solver?
to resolve problems, the best way possible.
But not amicably.
Well, sometimes.
Is it true that they would call on you when they had to solve a problem that wasn't amicable at that point?
On occasion.
That's all we're saying, people. Don't be intimidated. Looks like a big guy, and he is. If he stood up right now, he would block the sun. This is all I'm saying.
Eclipse the sun.
Eclipse.
Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, as Sigmund Freud would say.
Oh, that's very well done. But most of the time, it's a Oedipus complex.
Okay, now you have to realize
Please.
that my generation came from smoking genuine Havana tobacco. And at the time, it had all the right notes to it, and I tend to compare that,
It's fair.
any cigar that I smoke, with that experience. Unfortunately, I don't know if the tobacco today is the same in that soil lies all the qualities that fine tobacco should have.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So is this
Cuban tobacco.
Is this kind of a round way of saying that that's almost an impossible bar to reach?
It's a very high standard, very high bar to reach. Yes, this is a good quality cigar, but it's not Havana.
Okay, that's fair. I'll tell you what, I'm getting notes now. I do taste the cedar. I also taste Aston Martin leather. Just the tiniest bit of Aston Martin leather, like almost like a leather undertone. Do you taste it? It's almost like impotent but subtle at the same time.
No, I don't get the notes.
Or maybe I'm thinking
It's
of
a
you.
decent, it's a
It's
decent,
impotent.
smoke, but it's not Havana.
Do you think that is it the type of thing? I know when people smoke cigars, the taste changes as it.
Sometimes
Goes
it
down.
does.
Okay.
As you go, as you smoke.
Now, could it be that you're putting it through the filter, that you've had a very tough day because you've had to spend it with me, and it has soured the notes of the cigar?
No, it's just, it is what it is.
I feel like your hurt and disappointment that I married your daughter over all these years and have not provided a good home and a supportive atmosphere and environment for her is
think you're
hurting the review of the Delectados.
I think you're digging too deeply into it.
I thought we were doing the psychiatry couch. Look, this is a James Bond channel. Okay, if we don't dig into the look, this is not the Craig era.
All right,
We shouldn't get too emotional.
So in order to get the flavors, you got to pass this like through your sinuses, basically. You don't inhale it.
You put it through your
You
nose.
put it through your nose. That's
do?
How that's how you get the flavor, just like with a pipe tobacco.
I've been doing it mostly through my mouth. Seriously.
No, you don't. You don't do it that way.
Oh,
You're not going to get the flavor.
And you do like a small draw. and
Small
just-
draw, pass it through your nose.
All right. Well, hey, listen. Let me clear my palate. Up your bum. By the way,
Now, as this burns, it seems to be correcting.
you're
itself.
evening itself out. Yeah.
It's evening. It may get better as it goes down. So
It's like a Q branch
We'll
device.
see.
By the way,
you
as
got to
this,
remember too that I haven't smoked a cigar in quite a while. So
oh, you're gonna feel it tomorrow morning.
not necessarily, but
What does that mean?
that means that
The taste and everything's gonna affect you differently.
possibly I may not be giving a good analysis of it because of the fact that I haven't smoked in quite a while.
Okay. You seem to be extremely articulate about what you're encountering.
Well,
If I'm being,
trying to-
I'm just, you're doing better than me because you are a cigar smoker.
well, I've been known to smoke cigars. Yes.
Question for you:
ahead.
the last many cigars that you smoked, you probably have done it by yourself. Is it more pleasurable, mano y mano? I wouldn't call me a colleague of yours, but having a friend to do it with.
It's nice to social. It's a social situation. It's
Yeah.
nice. It's nice to share experiences with people. I think you get more out of it that way.
I feel like you're
Whatever
dancing
it is.
around this. That you can't just say you're having a good time with me. For God's
I'm
sake.
having a good time.
I mean, would it kill you? How long have you known me? 3 years? 4 years?
A little longer than that.
35?
Yeah, possibly.
I think it's actually been like 35 or 30.
Yeah.
Cheryl, how many years?
Since Danielle was 16.
Since their daughter was 16, she's 23 today, as of today. Happy birthday.
Long then.
No, it's been a long time. How many years is that? Carry the 9.
37 years
37 years.
at least.
I've known you guys for 37 years.
Wait a minute.
I have to say this is mild.
And every year you guys ask me for the same dowry and tribute. 3.5 pigs. Why? What's the significance? It
Burnt
is mild.
offerings.
Burnt offering. This is as close as we're getting to burnt offerings.
35 years.
How many?
35.
35 years. This is our 35th anniversary
Wow.
as this gentleman, Mark Hazard, as my father-in-law. Now, for some reason, why is it the next day after I smoke a cigar in the shower, I'm tasting it? What's going on there?
Well, unfortunately, this is what happens after you smoke a cigar. It's going to last. It's going to stay with you for a day or two. That's the downside.
But the upside is we're enjoying this.
We're
I
enjoying
have to
it,
say,
yes.
this is a nice smoke.
It is. It's a good smoke.
So far I'm really liking this. I'm trying to see if I missed any of the other notes. The fact that this is the first release, I know for Brian, this was a big deal because, this has been it's a cigar company that's basically built by the consumers of the people that appreciate these cigars. So it's not, it's a small business. We love to support small businesses. I know you like to support small businesses too, right?
Yeah,
like
that's
Walmart.
the lifeblood of our country.
Yeah, lifeblood of the country. Sam's, Costco's, all those small businesses that you enjoy, right? He's all over the small business. Actually, all kidding aside, we were just talking about this downstairs before. Your family had a small business. They had a restaurant.
Yes.
What else did they have? They had a couple businesses, right?
Yeah, real estate.
Perhaps the garbage industry. I don't want to say.
No.
No. But one of your ancestors was shot off a horse.
That's correct. My grandfather.
Yeah. So we don't talk about Bruno. His name was Bruno. What's his name? Bruno. Imagine though, how coincidental that would be. As we're smoking, I would like to ask you a few questions. I haven't been. You saw No Time to Die, the new Daniel Craig James Bond film.
Yes.
What did you think of it?
It was okay.
Wow, that's a glowing review. Could you give me any less information than that? What did you like about it? What did you think it was okay?
Well, I like some of the stunts.
How about that ending? Cheerful ending when he got blown to bits?
It's kind of like disappointing.
He looked like this in the end?
The doll, the whole thing. I don't,
Well, you didn't like the doll?
Well, it was kind of like...
You didn't like the rabbit doo-doo? That's exactly what I bought you for your birthday. It's downstairs. Damn it. No surprises for you. When you were young, did you and your family, did they go to the James Bond movies? Was this something that you did?
No, I didn't go to the movies with my family. I went by myself. Bond was just coming out. All these spy movies were just coming out.
So you saw them first run in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy them back then?
Yes. Yes, and there was a whole slew of them with different people.
And did you see every single one when they came out?
Possibly, yeah. I did enjoy them.
Because I remember there's some great pictures of you. And we'll post it up here. I think I have a copy of it where you're coming out of the water, full scuba gear with literally a spear gun. You look like James Bond.
Yeah, my Rolex, right?
And he had the right
5513.
He had the 5513 Live and Let Die Rolex, which just blows my mind. And you did sell it, unfortunately, for a song.
Yeah, for parts. That was an expensive.
Cover your heart, Indy. Cover your heart.
Today, that would be an expensive watch.
Oh my gosh, that watch would be ridiculous in auction.
Yeah, one of them was sold for $250,000.
Oh my gosh.
But it was Steve McQueen, so I mean I'm not Steve McQueen.
You fall just short of Steve McQueen, but you're my Steve McQueen. You've been a hero to me, and I tell you, this gentleman. I'm not going to say what you've done as your vocation, your past, but you have been a deadeye.
It's getting better.
It is getting better. No chase. You've been a deadeye. You shot better than people half your age as far as guns, semi-automatic, the full 9 yards. So you do, honestly, when I say he's got a set of skills like Liam Neeson, you kind of were like a Liam Neeson type.
Oh, you could say that.
He's very modest, and he should be. But so what kind of taste are you getting now at this point, now that's getting better?
I'm kind of getting used to it. For what it is, it's good. You know, it'll stand on its own. You can't compare it with anything else.
Yeah.
You got to just, enjoy it for what it is. And again, it's well crafted. It's got a beautifully colored wrapper.
Ooh.
And again, it's it's packed perfectly.
Yeah, the packing's
Perfect
really
draw.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you were packing in your vocation.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying. No, people, ignore that. I'll edit that out. I won't. But another question about James Bond. What we're doing right now, we always talk about being James Bond or doing things like James Bond. Obviously, single malts, things like that, smoking a cigar. Who was the James Bond that would always smoke cigars? That's a little bit of trivia. Do you remember which one was seen in the movie smoking cigars?
Sean Connery.
That is incorrect, sir.
Okay.
It is actually Roger Moore.
Oh, Roger Moore.
What were we going to say? I love that we have a buzzer. My mother-in-law,
Eh.
here she is. Look for her in an upcoming video. The disappointment just continues across the family. But that's another story. Let's get off the psychiatry couch, because one of the things too, as you've become like a fine smoke, you know, more mature as time has gone on, have you grown apart from the idea of connecting with James Bond? Or as a man today, I'll say it, you know, it's a tough world out there. Have you been drawn back to James Bond? Like doing these things the old way, is that more attractive to you?
Well, James Bond is kind of set in a certain time frame. So I don't think he'd go over too well in today's world. But
What are you
you
saying?
have to realize you have to realize he had a certain type of misogyny that wouldn't fit in today's world. But
Did he?
you gotta
Because he
realize
slapped some woman on the bum and said man talk? I don't know if that's misogyny as much as flirting.
Oh, well, you might say it's flirting in that time frame. Today it would be a no-no.
It would be a no-no. I get it. But I think there's still things about James Bond that we can emulate today. Understanding fine wines and locations and cars and smoking and, well, you know, I think those are all things that we could still capture today without being
True.
knocked over the head.
Yeah.
I mean, murder, misogyny, I get it. That's off the table. That's where we draw the line. This is burning nicely, isn't it?
Yes.
I haven't even had to ash this once. What does that mean? Is that a good sign?
It's burning nicely. Mine went a little too fast. But
Now, is that because
I've been puffing on it to get the flavor.
you've been known to finish too quickly?
Yeah, I probably do.
I didn't hear the bump, even from your wife, who's giggling like crazy in the back. She's got her wine. She's happy. Why is this such a good combination?
Yeah, it's a great combination.
You know what? You know what the trifecta here is? Good hooch, really good cigar, and good company. I mean, come on. Don't touch you, right?
Correct.
Don't touch you. He's got a thing. That's all I'm saying. But that comes from your training. I mean, people touching you have gotten broken arms and wrists because of no touch.
That's part of the training.
Now, I do have a kind of a, I don't want to call it a negative question, but it could be directional. Now that I've reintroduced you to the Delectados and cigar smoking again, is this something that could catapult you back to cigar smoking? Like, will you find yourself a couple days from now sitting by your very bougie lake with your boat? He's got a boat. It's a rowboat, but it's a boat. And will you be sitting there and go, you know something, I'm craving a cigar?
Yeah, it's very possible.
Right?
These things are addictive.
Guess what? I've got an extra one for you to take home. Right? So, all right, let's play a guessing game. How much would you guess a cigar like this costs retail?
Nowadays, probably very expensive.
Give me a price.
I would say it could go for as much as $12.
Okay, you're insane if you think that's expensive, because cigars will cost 32 to 40 bucks.
You could pay for a pack of cigarettes $12.
That is true. That is true. But this has an MSRP of $15. So
Really, it's
for an evening of fun, you can't go to a movie theater for $15.
that's true. It'll cost you $20.
This is why you haven't seen Maverick. I know you wanted to see Minions.
I'm waiting for it to be on TV.
It's coming. Relax. I get it. He uses my codes anyway. What do we got? We got Prime, we got Netflix, Disney Plus, and HBO.
That's right.
All right, to watch all your chick flicks, I give you everything. Father of the Bride, literally, Father of the Bride, right here. This is really enjoyable.
Yeah.
But you're going to be in your now. Is there such a thing as smoking a second cigar in one night or no?
There is. We've been known to do that.
You and I have.
Yes.
God, how did I do this back then?
I don't know.
Seriously,
But actually, I
would think I'd return.
This is so mild, you probably could. You probably could have a second cigar.
Oh,
But
this is getting so tasty.
It depends.
I'm
You never know what you're going to get.
You know what?
Really.
I'm going to say something. I think you might agree. The first third was okay.
Yeah, but as
this
it goes
next
down, it gets better.
Third is unbelievable.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I think you're right.
And here's the thing, and I want people to realize this, because you've seen me do reviews before, and I'm like, oh, look at the dancing puppet. You are brutal truth talker. Like if you don't like something,
I'll let you know.
you'll let us know.
Yeah. Now this configuration is is a good one, but I happen to like a very big cigar. I tend to go for a 60 ring.
Is that a Churchill? Am I getting that right?
They're hard to find. You get wheels of them.
Oh.
You can get wheels of them. I like a long, very, at least an inch ring on it.
Braggart.
About 60 ring or
Whoa.
better.
And this is the 66 by 50.
50, yeah.
So does that mean 6 inches, 50 ring?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you usually smoke? A 60 ring, 8 inches?
Yeah, usually it's a heavy, it's, fatter.
Again, I feel like
Usually
you're
if-
bragging. I feel like
No,
there's
it's just
no
I
innuendo
prefer, I
here.
prefer a bigger ring, a
All
larger
right.
ring.
Well, you have big hands too. You
yeah,
have like
yeah, well,
anybody that knew Desmond Llewellyn. You have hold up your hand. That's actual size, people. No matter what, if you're watching this on your phone, that's actual size.
Yeah.
Here, hold up your hand again. Just do that.
It's like a double X.
Hold up your hand higher. This is my actual size of my hand. That's not a
As you get
dimension.
closer, it's big.
Yeah, put it really close. Look at that. I mean, I seriously look like a Dr. Seuss character compared to him. All I'm saying is a big guy. And how old are you? You're like 68 now, aren't you?
80.
He's freaking 80. By the way, his skin is so good. What's your skin regime? You
I
drink
don't-
olive oil every morning? Swig it back?
No, but
Hand up
I use
placenta
olive
on your
oil.
face?
I like olive oil.
Yeah.
I use a lot.
Why is your
not on
skin
my
so
face,
good?
but
Is that heritage? Is
probably,
it culture?
Probably
Sicilian?
genes. Yeah.
You're part Sicilian. Are you Serbian too? No.
Serbian.
Part Serbian.
Yeah.
Uh,
all the right combinations.
Oh, you're a small. I mean, a small part Lithuanian.
No, Serbian
Okay.
and Sicilian.
I feel like you're something else. I'm getting a hint of toasted bread. It's the cigar. Do you taste any cedar?
No.
Do your taste buds change as you get older?
Yes, they do.
Did they dull? Is that why you like clear broth? And you need all your food
Well,
blended?
No, my palate is pretty sensitive. Not as sensitive, perhaps, as when I was younger, but it's pretty sensitive. I enjoy tasty food, as you can tell. I'm no lightweight.
No, you're no lightweight, but I think you and your wife, and I'm not saying this just because she's
we eat well.
within throwing range of me.
And I enjoy
think you do
preparing
eat
food.
very healthy.
Yeah, we do.
You don't eat these huge quantities, and your house is a very healthy house. It's filled with healthy food. I'm always calling them and I'm asking. This is true, right? What are you eating? Because they're having like salmon and grilled chicken, and this is not a Chef Boyardee house.
Well, we had a Delmonico steak last week. Boy, that
Again,
was good, grilled.
Nothing but bragging.
Yeah.
You're right,
No,
because that's a
it's good.
relevance thing. You're fine. People love you. You don't need to brag so much. No, you eat good in their house, and you used to, before you guys cut out dairy and a lot of sweets, although your wife does not have a sweet tooth, you used to make like cheesecakes and
Oh yeah,
chocolate cakes.
chocolate cheesecake.
Yes, you in the corner.
Now I make banana bread.
My mother-in-law made it. Do you really make banana
I
bread?
do, yeah.
Do you do, or
I
she
do.
does?
I do.
Ooh. And I heard you cut up some mean fruit.
Oh yeah.
So you're a sous chef.
Well,
You're more
yeah,
than that.
I know my way around the kitchen.
By the way, that's a
work
very
well
James Bond
together.
thing,
Yeah.
I think. All right. I'm going to continue the quiz because you're doing great so far, and you haven't failed, and you haven't left this video yet, which is shocking. So one of the things I also wanted to ask is, if you could have any fantasy James Bond car. So Barbara Broccoli, who's the producer of the James Bond film, says, David, I saw your father-in-law and I fell in love with him. Maybe it was his hands, I don't know. But we'd love to gift him a car.
Oh, no.
What James Bond car would you want?
I don't know. There's so many interesting cars he had.
I love how decisive you are.
Yeah.
But, I mean, would it be an Aston Martin DB5? Would it be a Lotus Esprit? A Toyota GT?
A Miata, MX-5.
So you do have a
Porsche.
Miata, don't you?
I do.
What is it? What
MX-5.
in a British Racing Green, right?
I do.
Beautiful car. Now,
Actually, I enjoyed that more than my Porsche.
is that because
a
you
Porsche.
actually take it out of the garage every now and then?
I used to.
I mean, he had a beautiful Porsche that he got selling what?
I had a Gibson Les Paul Gold Top, a 56,
Yep.
and I auctioned it off, and I bought a Porsche Boxster.
And we have your wife to thank for that, because she said,
And it was the same
this
year-
guitar's sitting in a closet. You can get anything you want if you get rid of it. And you got rid of it, and you got a Porsche.
Yes.
And you stuck it in the garage, and you hardly drove it.
Yeah, it was a Garage Queen. And it was the same year as yours. You had the
I had the Cayman.
Cayman.
I had the Cayman, which I love.
Yeah, and I enjoyed the Porsche.
Yeah. But the Miata, I felt like for a time you used more, because you weren't so
I did.
afraid of it.
Well, you know, I wanted something that I could drive that I wouldn't have to worry about.
By the way, look at that. I
Yeah,
have
it's
not
beautiful.
had to flick this once. That is a beautiful smoke. Ladies and gentlemen, damn. All right, so as of late, though, the Miata hasn't gotten a lot of playtime. Is that correct?
Correct. I've had some issues that have prevented me from.
And I think we can be vocal about that. You've been wanted by several organizations, and you're trying to keep a low profile, not the playboy persona that a Miata driver has. Because it is a convertible, correct?
It is.
Is it a stick?
It is a stick.
I mean, that says playboy.
I mean, that's that's what you want when you're driving a sports car.
Yeah, you and your Casio, it just screams, I'm taking in the money somehow, and we don't know how. So I think you're just trying to keep a low profile. Plus, your wife doesn't like to be going the Miata anymore.
That's correct.
You jostled her one too many times.
Yeah, she doesn't like to be jerked around in that car.
You know, some men don't like to be taken for a ride, or is it that some men don't like to be driven?
Oh, that's very good.
Look at me geek out. Didn't know what hit him. Oh, it just ashed. But look at it. Even the ash pull off on that was great.
I'm trying to find the seam on this band.
To take off the band? Do
Yeah.
you want to save the band?
No, I just want to.
Take off
I
the
want
band?
to smoke it. And the band's in the way.
First of all, the band itself is a prop because it's right from the movie. I'm going to save my band.
Oh, okay.
But that's just how I roll.
Yeah. At a certain point, it's going to start burning, and I want to smoke it all the way down.
Oh, good call. Can you not find the band? Is there maybe not a band? No, there has
Maybe
to
there's
be.
no seam on it.
How can there
I
not be
don't
a
see
seam on it? Oh, is the seam where the... Oh, it's right there.
No,
Wouldn't you say that's
it's
where
not
it is?
peeling.
Do you want to... This in and of itself is going to be fascinating.
Okay.
I do have a question for you, though, and I would like your opinion just simply as a red-blooded individual. They talk about now reinventing the Bond series. Reinventing the Bond series. What would you want to see in the new Bond films? What is something that you like action films? What would you want to see in the new Bond films that come out?
I think they have it down pretty good now. They haven't deviated too much from the original. I guess it's stayed pretty much the same.
So you wouldn't want...
I wouldn't want any changes. No.
So you wouldn't want more... You wouldn't want Bond to be more like the 1960s Bond. You're happy with the 2020s Bond.
Well, again, it's a time frame. I don't know how it would transfer into modern times.
How did you get to be so progressive? Was it your wife or your daughter? Or both? Because they're kind of the same person.
Yeah, they are.
A little bit. Don't be nervous. She's not within range. Although she does have a blow dart gun, right? If you see him like keel over, it's because he said something wrong. That's not true. You have no punitive damage in your life, right?
It's getting better now.
I love how he would have made an incredible politician because when he doesn't like one of my questions or if he feels it's going to endanger him in any way, he just doesn't answer it. And he's like, you in the back. I'm done with you, Mr. Reporter. Is it getting better? So the last third is the best part so
Yeah,
far.
and that's not unusual with a cigar.
Can you give me some adjectives? Is it peppery?
No. It's either you like it or you don't.
So you don't...
And I like it.
I like this. You're a guy's guy in the sense that, look, I don't need to sit here and describe it with 19 different tasting notes. All right? I'm just saying I'm enjoying it. Now shut up. I mean, a little bit. By the way, when you hold a cigar, when you're down by the lake and it's just you or your wife, it doesn't matter how you hold a cigar. But when you're in public, do you try to like hold it in a cool way? Or
Yeah.
there's just hold the damn thing?
Just hold it and smoke it. Just hold it.
They don't make guys like this anymore. Folks, they broke the mold. And I mean, they closed the factory down because I'm pretty sure it was illegal. I'm digging
What do
it.
you think?
I'm really digging it, but I tell you, you're ahead of me.
Now, I like the shade on that wrapper. That really is it's really
it's dark, but it's got a good modeling to it.
this one is really it's beautiful.
Now, do you think they hand roll this between the thighs of? No, they probably do it on a machine, right? Or do you think they hand roll this?
I don't know if this was hand rolled or machine rolled because it's that
Looking at
good.
notes.
I mean, whoever rolled it did a fantastic job.
Now, were you familiar with this Diaz Cabrera factory? Because from what I hear, it's like all the rage. By the way, I love the details. They sent it in these.
A humid pack, right?
It's a two-way humidity control pack, and it's got these made in the USA, ready to use, no activation needed, do not eat, which means we're going to eat it because it's just tempting me. Do not cut, this type of thing to keep it humidified. And look at that. It keeps it at 69% humidity.
Yeah, you want to keep this at the proper humidity. Cigars do not like to be played with. They like to be left alone.
Left alone.
You put you put them in your humidifier. Make sure your humidity is proper, and just leave them alone. In the dark, don't play with them.
And you have quite a cigar collection yourself right now.
I do, yeah.
You bought a lot. You bought bricks and bricks and
Yeah.
bricks. And so do you give these cigars out to people or
do.
just hoard them? Oh, you do?
No, I give them, yeah.
To who?
Whoever would like one.
Guess who didn't? Guess who hasn't gotten any?
Well, you can have as many as you like.
We'll see. We'll see after. I want to see how I wake up tomorrow morning. By the way, maybe it's maybe because I'm talking a lot. I'm getting a slight buzz from this. Is that normal for a cigar?
Well, if you haven't had nicotine in a while, you can get a buzz from it.
I mean, not an uncontrollable buzz like you and I are going to be like climbing the roof, but
So,
it's a little
you know,
something.
if you're not used to the nicotine, I guess there's a certain amount of addiction, too, that you have from nicotine that would enhance the flavor of the cigar. So I'm not sure whether, you know, it's a combination of factors.
Well, the Delectados, and by the way, I love. So Brian, who's the owner of the of this cigar club, the Privada Club, which is a company, is so honest. He did a YouTube video, which we'll link down below, where he does an incredible job reviewing this cigar. I love that he did it in a very authentic way. So there are notes on the side of this: legendary, mythical, mystical. The hands and mind of the man that created this craft cigar have been dedicated to cigar making for over 50 years. It goes on, and it actually talks about the notes. And then he smoked it, and he goes, I don't know if the notes are exactly the same. I love that type of honesty. So,
Well, it doesn't burn, that's for sure. It doesn't burn the palate,
right.
which right there tells you that it's decent tobacco.
It says the cigar is the embodiment of balance with unparalleled creaminess and a baker's spices along with hints of wood and subtle pepper. The Delectados is the cafe au lait of cigars. You getting that?
That's marketing.
Is it a little J. Peterman-ish? Like, but are you getting creaminess? It is mild.
It's mild, and it's not burning anything. So, you know, right then and there, you know it's a decent cigar.
I don't know if I'm getting baker spices. I am getting the peppery. I am getting the toasted bread. I'm not getting the cedar anymore. I got it towards the beginning. I'm getting almost a like a campfire, but a controlled campfire lit by elves. Is that possible?
You know, it's interesting.
What's interesting?
Sometimes you can enjoy a cigar even when you're not smoking it, when somebody else is smoking it.
Just from afar.
Just from afar, you can enjoy it.
How's that?
The aroma,
Oh. But is that why your wife is sitting 85 feet from us?
probably. She's not really into cigars.
She's not into the cigars. I don't blame her. I mean, it's if you're not into cigars,
Yeah.
it could be off-putting to people. I think for some reason, pipe tobacco, like black cherry, things like that, is a little bit more
That's a
aromatic to
no-no.
people.
That's a no-no.
Why?
Those are scented. No, you
Ooh.
want authentic tobacco. Latakia, something that's real.
What year were you born? No, what year were you born?
1942.
1942. They stopped making people like him. This guy's the real deal. I'm just sitting here trying to get through this and eke out a video review of these, which are fantastic. But he knows what he's talking about. The fact that he can enjoy a cigar from afar, that's insanity.
Yeah, you can.
You know, your wife just moved a little closer to the cigar. I feel like it's Gorillas in the Mist. Like I was going to say Bob Fosse, that's the dancer. Whoever the one that was in Gorillas in the Mist, as she comes closer to the gorillas, who are kind of like picking bugs off of each other, she's getting just a tiny bit closer to observe us in the wild. Look at this, look at this. I'm telling you, she was way over there on the deck, and now she's gotten closer. It's amazing to watch this in real life.
You definitely need a good beverage with this. And this is good.
I feel like this is a wonderful palate cleanser.
Yes.
But they complement each
They
other.
complement each other. Very important to have both.
That's so good. I love that it's not going out too, and I'm really spending time, obviously, talking and doing things, but it's still having that flavor. Unbelievable.
I do have a Havana at home.
You do?
Yeah.
Really?
A real one, yeah.
Oh. Well,
And
that seems a bit...
it's not the best of Havanas, but still it has that the authentic flavor that only that soil can produce.
So Dominican Republic
They
versus...
try, but they haven't gotten it.
Is it the difference between like a French wine and a California wine? Because some people prefer
We've gotten
California
some
to
pretty good
French.
wines in California.
I know.
But if you were a wine connoisseur, you probably could detect the difference.
Okay, that's fair.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm not really into wine, but my wife is. She knows.
What's her favorite wine?
Her favorite wine is Chardonnay,
Whatever I'm
vintage
drinking at the
in a
moment.
box.
Whatever she's drinking at the moment. That is the right answer.
Whatever she's drinking at the moment.
But-
Or,
but
or
she's-
a rosé, a rose.
Or rosé.
Rosé.
Yeah, rosé by any other name would still be a
rose.
rosé. There's even been some good box wines out there.
Yeah,
True, right?
yeah.
And the nice thing is, box wine you can drink anywhere, even at a drive-in theater.
And it's constant. It stays the same. It doesn't change.
Yeah,
The one that she gets, it's always good.
I love that.
Yeah, it's always a good flavor.
Well, listen, we are going to enjoy the rest of our cigars in private because this was for you. But any last notes about the cigar that you would like to tell the audience?
Yeah, it's a decent smoke.
Again, glowing remarks. You seem like you were really enjoying it more to give it a decent. You have tobacco on your lip. Or maybe that you're saving that for later. You got it. Anything else?
Well, I'm smoking it all the way down, so
So that's a good sign, right?
it's a good sign.
And by the way, this is a gentleman who, I'll just say this in the nicest way. You throw compliments around like manhole covers. Like, if you give a compliment to somebody, it's due. You don't sit there and shower them.
Backhanded.
Yeah. I mean, I feel loved, but it's taken, over 35 years to feel that way. Is all I'm saying. Listen, Mark, or can I call you Mr. Hazard? Thank you so much for coming on again.
Oh, you're very welcome.
This is great. We're going to enjoy this in private, so we don't have to do this chit-chat, and we can enjoy this and enjoy the good air. But this has been Mark Hazard. I'm sure you'll see him again in another video if he survives the evening. And David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. And I want to thank Brian for this amazing cigar.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Links are below. This has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. We'll see you all real soon. Take care. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to be up on the latest from the Bond Experience, just click on this subscribe and subscribe to our channel. You're going to get all the latest and greatest information, plus some exclusive content. And by the way, speaking of content, here's something especially for you, just because we know you. Talk to you soon.